back to my channel, guys, and today I want to talk about why women are more single than ever before. A study recently came out that said 45% of women from the ages 25 to 44 will be single and childless by 2030. And no one's really talking about this. And I think it has to do with the media, the society that we're living in now in today's age, really pushing this narrative that we don't need men. Men are toxic. We just can do it ourselves. Women need to be empowered. They should be boss babes. They need to have their own careers. They need to take care of themselves. They need to be independent. They need to freeze their eggs. And they can do everything they want and not date and not worry about men. Personally, I think this is a really scary narrative, and don't get me wrong, I think it's amazing if a woman wants to have a career and she doesn't really want to have that, raising a family kind of thing. That's completely fine. That's her choice. But I think it leaves a lot of guys confused in the dating market, not knowing what this means for them or how they're gonna start finding women. Like, if less women are dating or wanting to settle down, like, that's less women for men to start dating, so are they going to start looking elsewhere? Passport bros, it's a thing where guys are going out to different countries to find more of that traditional value woman who wants to stay home and raise the kids, because it seems so taboo nowadays in the US. And don't get me wrong, not all women are like this, but I think even for me growing up, I was played this narrative that you need to have a career, you need to work really hard, and the traditional value of like, hey, it's okay to want to stay home and raise a family and be a stay-home mom was kind of looked at as not a career, not something that you should strive for, when in reality I think that women should be praised for staying home and raising kids if that's what they want and if that's what you guys want. If a male wants a traditional family, then that's totally fine, and if that's not what you want, that is fine as well. But I think no one is really talking about this problem. So I want to play for you this clip I heard that I feel sums up how a lot of women in today's age feel about men, and I thought it was shocking.
We couldn't have credit cards, couldn't own property, couldn't vote, had no voice. Well, of course we'd partner up with a man because we needed one so that we didn't starve to death. We don't need men. So if it comes to being in a relationship, it's a matter of bringing something to the table. And if what you're bringing to the table is a toddler-like mentality where you are expecting a mommy and expecting some kind of subordinate, concubine kind of setup, no woman wants that.
There was some points that I understand where she's coming from. Of course, no woman wants to get in a relationship with a man that doesn't brings something to the table, just like I feel like a woman needs to bring stuff to the table. I feel like to say that back then when women were more oppressed, they had to marry a man because that was it. And now that they're not oppressed, like, they don't need a man. Like, I feel like that's very weird logic. What happened to love? What happened to wanting to be with someone else? And I feel like what she was saying about not wanting to be your mom and these are like toddler behaviors, yeah, of course, like if a guy is immature, not respectful, of course a girl doesn't want to marry a guy like that. But I feel like it was a very blanket statement and making it seem like that's all men, and so women need to like really find the reasons now to be with a man, and love was not on there. So I just felt like that was a very weird thing to say. And then on top of that, when she talked about bringing things to the table, of course, like, there needs to feel like you're each bringing things to the table. I've heard a lot of men say, especially men that are successful, say, if I bring the finances to the table, I bring the leadership, I bring, the protection, the security, all of that. I don't want a partner that brings that equality. Like, they don't want a partner brings the same exact thing. They want someone that's nurturing, that can take care of the house, that's loving, that will be a good mom, raise the kids. And I think in today's world, women believe that they should be bringing the same thing, like finances, leadership, independence to the table as well. And there's going to be a lot of friction. If you want that, that's totally fine. But I think there's a lot of men struggling with dating today because that's not what they want. And they're going on dates with these really independent, strong-minded, even more masculine women. And these women aren't in touch with their, femininity anymore. And men aren't attracted to that. And I think it's a shame for the media to be telling women that like being masculine and everything is the path, the right path, with leaving women that don't want that want that more traditional role, that women that want to be more feminine as like a taboo bad thing. Because I feel like I've talked to a lot of women that are like confused and like, I don't know what the right thing is anymore. And same for men, like they feel like, okay, like if I can't find girls that want this value system anymore, this traditional, maybe staying home with raising the kids, then either I'm just going to be single and I'm not going to get married because it doesn't make sense for me, or I'm going to go outside the country and find it elsewhere. So I feel like it leaves us in like this really weird spot. It kind of makes sense to me now, like why I'm seeing more and more women single, and especially women older single, because you know, women are focusing more on their careers and not dating. So they're thinking like their timeline can be pushed. So I'm not going to date in my 20s, and then in my 30s, then I'll find somebody and settle down and have kids. And the problem with that mentality is I know a lot of friends for me, or just girls I know in general, that are in their 30s and they're not finding suitable men that they want to settle down with. They don't think they're high quality men, or they're not people they're attracted to, because I truly believe those high quality men are not attracted to their age. They're not attracted to that, because every guy I talk to that's like, yeah, she's attractive, but she's 34, like then she's gonna want a family soon, and I don't want to settle down with a 34-year-old and then rush the whole process. I rather just date that 25-year-old. So I just feel like there's a lot of moving parts here, and I feel that women are choosing to be single, and then I don't know what that's gonna look like in 2030. I don't know what that dating market's gonna look like. I feel like it's kind of unfair to men, but at the same time, women are allowed to do what they choose. Just I felt that I had to come on here and just express all this stuff that's happening, and try to give some light to it. So if you guys like this type of video, let me know, comment below. I just thought I would try something different. The advice I would give is for guys, don't give up. There are plenty of girls out there that think probably more like me, and are trying to still find those masculine men that do want that traditional role. Make sure you're just checking out on dating apps, and when you're talking to girls, on the first or second date, you're kind of figuring out, okay, like, is this a boss babe type of girl, or is this a girl that actually wants, those traditional values? So you kind of start screening for it. So that would be my advice, is don't give up on dating completely, but you have to navigate this new world we're in. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll talk to you in the next video.